Hey everyone, I just wanted to sit down and talk about mental health as it's something that I have struggled with for a long time, and I know a lot of people who have struggled or are currently struggling with the state of their mental health. Over the years, I have suffered with varying levels of depression and anxiety, and one complicated thing that I think a lot of people struggle to understand is how differently these issues can affect each individual. Now, I don't want to claim I am some sort of expert. I definitely am not, but I want to try to address parts of this, and hopefully someone will feel like they can relate, or feel heard, or even maybe learn something from it. With depression, it can be extremely hard to see, especially if the person doesn't feel like they can reach out to anyone, which is very common in men. Throughout human history, our race has developed a society where men feel the need to be strong all the time, which has in turn created a situation where men cannot speak about their issues so openly. Men just man up and get on with it. From my experience as a young man, it was very difficult to speak with my male friends about these issues, and I didn't exactly have many female friends as I went to an all boys school. When we are young, we tend to be less open-minded about these kinds of things, and we can also bully people without even realizing we're doing it. When I first started looking into how depression affected the people I looked up to, I didn't relate to their experiences so much. Many people had eating disorders or childhood trauma, and the symptoms of their depression were different in many cases to mine. The biggest example I could pull from my experience is this: people with depression feel tired and want to sleep all the time. I had a fairly opposite experience where I never wanted to sleep because I didn't want the next day to come so fast. This feeling would be overwhelming the moment I was alone, say after I had been playing video games with my friends and they went to bed. I could never get to sleep because of this issue. Now, I understand this might be impacted by my anxiety. With anxiety, it was very difficult for me to even realize I was experiencing anxiety. I simply thought I was introverted, which when I really think about it, I am not that introverted. I have many friends, I am sociable at work, I like meeting people from around the world. So, how was anxiety affecting me? I began struggling to commit to plans, deadlines, daily tasks, and just simply looking after my health. And this wasn't even something new to me over the last few years. After I had a bad panic attack that left me to walk across the entire city I live in the middle of the night without any battery on my phone, all by myself, I realized I needed to find out what was going on in my head. After speaking with a psychiatrist, I noticed that I had been experiencing minor cases of anxiety since I was young. I always struggled with cooking and cleaning in front of others. I have always worried that I'm saying something wrong, particularly in confrontations, and I sometimes get imposter syndrome when trying to talk positively about myself. All of these things were symptoms I didn't even realize were from anxiety. I didn't even know this is what it could be. I thought I had depression. I thought all of my issues came from my depression. Turns out a lot of my issues also came from anxiety. To this day, it is still harder for me to talk to some of my male friends compared to others. But, for the most part, I have become unapologetically open about these issues. When you first try to open up to people, it can be incredibly hard, and if you have a friend who wants to talk to you about how they feel, you should let them and try not to judge them for their feelings. When we experience depression or anxiety, our thoughts are very chaotic at times, and we can think about every negative reaction possible before even considering the possibility of a positive reaction from someone. If you are struggling with anxiety or depression, or even both, and you are not sure if you can relate to someone, or you feel that you are alone in your experience, then I hope that this video helps even just a little bit to feel heard. I cannot state this enough, that whilst your experience can be very unique to your situation, there will be others in the world who have had similar experiences. If you suspect that a friend of yours is struggling, then offer a hand out to help them. Maybe even show them this video. If you are struggling, then reach out to someone close to you. It is scary at first, but if you have supportive people around you, they will try to help you. If your friends don't understand, then maybe they can learn something from this video too. Now, just before I wrap this up, I want to clarify something that I have talked about throughout this video. I said a few things specifically about men. Obviously, women can experience the same issues that men do, but my experience is coming from a male perspective. However, there are patterns that are more common relative to your gender. I think that it is important that we try to understand different points of views and try to help each other throughout these things. If you have watched this video to this point, then I want to thank you for your time. If there is anything you would like me to expand on, or maybe there is something more specific you would like me to cover, then leave a comment. I would love to be able to expand on this.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.